Good morning, everyone. I know you're probably wondering why and how did this girl have chemo yesterday and is up at 5:10. That would be because I have not been to sleep. I've gotten sick 7 times. My body aches all over. My water is starting to taste like the metal of my cup. I'm starving because of the steroid bag, but I'm too nauseous to eat anything. It sucks. And this is just a few, lovely hours in. I fully anticipate this to be getting worse since I am having symptoms, and they last for some days. So that is just not, I don't really care. I mean, it's chemo can bring me to my knees. I'm not gonna stop. I have too much to live for. Jada normally is the type of person that she can be mid-sentence with you in bed and fall asleep. Like, she can fall asleep within 5 seconds. I've had insomnia all my life. It runs in my family. I've never understood her. Like, I've felt physically violent towards her before because I haven't had that much sleep and she's just like out. But I feel so bad because tonight she's woken up at least 5 or 6 times. And not with the irritated, you're still watching Netflix look, but with the worried, why are you out of bed, what's going on look. Because she made me promise to wake her up if I needed her. And I haven't really felt like me getting sick is something, I need to wake her up for. I can do that on my own. I don't have that much hair to hold back, totally used to throwing up on my own. I have had Crohn's for 14 years. No symptoms as of right now that would cause me any alarm that I wasn't prepared for. I was really hoping I didn't get them. Now, problem with me sleeping, I did make a post about this, is, they were supposed to give me the prescription of steroids when I went to my doctor's this last time. And yes, I'm going to chain smoke, and you can judge me if you want. You can also judge how I look right now. If you want me all fancy and dolled up, go ahead and stalk my Facebook. Many, many pictures where I look gorgeous and have my hair done and my makeup done and flawless. But 5:10 in the morning when I haven't slept after the day of chemo I had, you getting this, natural. So, they're supposed to give me this prescription for steroids. I mentioned this in my earlier kind of update. It wasn't really a vlog. It was more of an update because so many people had contacted me, and I got done so late, and I really wasn't on my phone while I was doing it, so I didn't really get to reach everybody. But I'm supposed to do a pill in the morning and a pill in the night of steroids, and that's the day before, day of, and day after my chemo, because it's going to help keep down the water retention that I'm going to get in my body because of one of my chemo medicines, because I have 4. Well, I have 2 chemo medicines and then 2 medicines that have to be administered through an IV bag with chemo in order for them to work properly. It's confusing, but whatever, as long as it works. Since they didn't do that, they gave me a bag of steroids today. Since I didn't get home until late, I didn't get that steroid pill until 8 o'clock. Now, these are 8 milligram pills. When I'm on my Crohn's and you hear me talk about steroids, I'm on 40 milligrams, which is really high. So nothing that I'm really concerned about, but that's not helping. And then I read all the information about the drugs they gave me today, because they gave you printouts of, exact information about each of them. I've never understood this with drug companies or how it even works. But two of the symptoms are, for every single drug I'm on, is one, fatigue, and two, insomnia. Like, really? So you're gonna make me tired as shit, but I'm not gonna be able to sleep. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I really didn't expect a lot of sleep tonight, because if I was gonna have symptoms, they were gonna start creeping their head tonight, but wasn't really ready for this. I wasn't ready for how weird it feels when I walk right now. It feels like my body's kind of jello. And I know it's a mental anxiety thing, but like, it's almost like it feels different, like I'm just full of chemicals. Because, I mean, y'all had to see these bags. These were huge IV bags. The saline IV bags you get when you're dehydrated. I got 7 of those, and it wasn't saline. It was still these different medications, so it was insane. But even though, I went through all that, and then was told that I wasn't going to be able to finish that day and come back and have to finish another bag for an hour and a half tomorrow, and then switched within like 15 minutes that I was going to finish, and all this kind of stuff, like, and then they gave me a lot of Ativan, so I was passed out, and I started sweating when I was passed out, and just not feeling good at all. It wasn't best. I mean, how can you say I had a good chemo day? But when I came home, I did, I came home on a day that was bad, and I came home to some of my most loved people, and I came home to my family wearing all their shirts, getting to congratulate William on getting his driver's license and his new haircut that makes him so handsome, and cuddle up with my daughter who'd been worried about me all day, and see my Teresa and Susie, and Leslie and Mitzi brought over dinner, and so many people have checked up on me. That's the good. You got to weigh the good with the bad in the situations, and if you don't do that, you get way too stuck on the bad. And when you start thinking about all the bad, then you start self-blaming you for all the things that are going on. It's my fault that my partner has to work so hard because I can't work right now. It's my fault that I can get my kid the things that she deserves because she works hard and she knows how to work for $1, and she helps around the house because I'm not working because I'm sick. I can't go out and, go out to a friend's house and hang out for long periods of time because I'm sick. I'm a burden. I'm this, I'm that. These people would have better lives without me. All this kind of crap. You start thinking stuff like that, and that I find that is natural with anybody that has a chronic illness of any kind. But it's crap. It's crap. It's not like I woke up and I was like, you know what? I don't want to work. I don't want to work for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Jada support me. And the way I'm going to do that and get away with it is I'm going to have cancer. I'm going to have stage 3 breast cancer. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? It doesn't sound ridiculous in your mind when your anxiety's going 90 to nothing. But when you're actually being rational, it's ridiculous, And I'm going to do all of the extra, I know there's extra and alternative treatments I'm going to start looking into tomorrow that I'm going to get into because I want all of the therapies so that I can get the best outcome possible, I've talked about the good and the bad with my diagnosis. It's good that it's HER2 positive, estrogen positive, because they have Protesia or whatever it's called in Herceptin that can attack those specific cancer cells. But also it has a higher reoccurrence rate. It multiplies faster and spreads faster. And if you look up survival rates, which I did, it has a high recurrence rate. And once it does recur, it has you have a 48% chance of living past 10 years. Good thing I'm going to be the 48%. But I can dwell on that every day if I want to. Make myself miserable, make my family miserable. But I refuse. I refuse. With me not sleeping tonight and me being sick and feeling like crap, I may be lying in bed, but I'm going to be cracking jokes. And I'm going to be loving on my children and my partner and my mom before, she leaves for the weekend. And, I'm going to make it through this, and I'm going to make it through this with my sanity, because I honestly believe you can get through anything as long as you take the time to not be an adult for a while, to forget about the rent, to forget about the car payments and electricity bill, to forget about the upcoming school year and school supplies, to forget about my upcoming chemo and treatments and surgeries and the bills, to forget about, insurance turning over, forget about all that for at least 30 minutes and just really be in the moment with your family. And we've always kind of done that. We've tried to turn around bad days, but with this diagnosis, I have realized how much more I am literally full-heartedly being with my family. If I'm not anxiety-ridden and irritated with everybody and just want them to shut up. But you have to take those moments and you have to enjoy them and soak them in, because there's going to be really, really bad moments coming ahead, and those good moments is what's going to get you through. I know that's cliched, but it's cliched for a reason. Cliches are cliches because they're true, You can't back down from a fight in this life. We have people that we love very much that have been taken from us way too soon by people where we had no control over it. And I might not have any control over this, and you might not have any control over your disease, but you do have control about how you go about taking care of it and taking care of yourself. And if you're wondering, if I can't work and I am too sick to do housework and play with my kids right now, what can I do? What you can do is take care of yourself and do what the doctor tells you, and rest and take your medicines and get the surgeries and the procedures that you need. That's what you can do. That's what's going to help your family, because they know you're fighting, and they're going to fight right by you. So these are my random moments. 5 o'clock in the morning. I was so ambitious when I was on my way home. The steroids going 90 nothing in my body, and I'm like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna finish my blog that I've been working on. Then I'm gonna do a new blog, another blog about just today. And then, I'm going to hang out with the family, and then I'm gonna write in my journal, and then I'm gonna tell everybody what's going on and talk to everybody and make all these calls. And I got home, I got undressed because I was hot and sweating, felt disgusting. I took my meds, I explained my meds to my mom, I explained my meds to Jada, and then I told everybody that I was at the house, what was going on, and then me and Jada made a quick video where Zuckerberg screwed it up and had to be a two-parter. And then I was done for the day. I ate a little bit of food, started laying down, and then I started getting sick, The best way to script your plans is to make some. But hopefully, even through the nausea tomorrow, I'll be able to lay in bed and have my laptop that I am now very blessed to have, and get that out so that I can start reaching more people, because I think that awareness needs to be brought to this, not just to breast cancer. Breast cancer has lots of awareness, but I'm talking Crohn's disease. I'm talking fibromyalgia, arthritis when you're in your 30s is hell. High blood pressure when you're 20 and they can't figure out why is hell. Lupus is hell. Diverticulitis is hell. ADHD, mental disorders, anxiety disorders, bipolar, all of that needs to be put out there and put in a real light. These are people, just like you and me. They bleed red. They live their lives. They love the people in their lives. They are trying to do the best they can. And they have an extra, sorry, my mouth is so dry from all these medicines. They have an extra burden to bear just to have the normal realities and everyday things that most people take for granted. And I think that needs to be brought to light. So that's one of the reasons I'm vlogging, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to be writing on the blog. So, plus I think it's time to see the nitty gritty. I'm a straight shooter, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. So, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Either way. But I'm going to go back in and lay next to my girl and not sleep. And probably my mom will be up soon and hang out with her and love on my kid before she goes over there for the weekend. Alrighty. Hope y'all have a good morning. Love you. Bye.